All right, shalom, shalom. Just doing a quick mic check. Shalom. Make sure everything's coming in. First things first, I'm going to give all honor and praise unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Akarkadash. We say, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Bashem Akarkadash. And we give double honors to our apostle elders, which are the apostle elders of Great Millstone, and to you hopeful elect on the four corners of the planet Earth that's hoping, pushing this truth with all sincerity, honesty, and faith. We're in the time of the end. Great things are taking place in the year 2021. All right, which is hastening the coming of Yahweh Shem Shai, and we're seeing things that are happening. Okay, men's hearts are being revealed, man. All right, men's hearts are being revealed in a big way. So let me make sure the sound is on, and we're gonna go ahead and continue on with the lesson. Hey, shalom, shalom. You let me know the sound's okay. I'm waiting for this to load up. Hopefully, it'll load up sooner than later. Okay, con. All right, shalom, shalom. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. As you see, the title of the video here is the Kingdom of Priests. Okay, the Kingdom of Priests is what you see taking place right now. What you see is the building. All right, it just came up. Okay, con. So we have a controversy coming up with, or not coming up, but it's came up, which is really not a controversy because everything that happens is dual purpose. That's why the Lord said a false balance is an abomination. So everything that we see and take place right now in the spirit is it's meant to happen. Okay. It says not a bird falls to the ground unless the most high ordains it. So none of these guys are saying what they're saying out of nowhere because why? The Lord wants us to dive into something. I stopped looking at the negative part of things and start looking at what can we gain from it. What can we gain from people saying certain things, doing certain things, and what is the Lord trying to say to us, and what is He trying to have us understand? Okay, so just like we see people saying priest and now high priest is something that's coming up, and those that want to, men's hearts are being revealed. That's why it says not everyone that say Lord, Lord shall enter into the kingdom. You got to keep that in mind, man. So there's going to be some that think they're in the fold and they're not. So that's a whole nother lesson in itself. But I'm just going to make sure these precepts are hit and the point is taken care of. And this is to warm the hearts of those that believe in the future to come. All right, and they're fighting for the goal of being in that rest, man. All right, we're not fighting for our own prideful gains or having somebody look at us like we're something in this world. We're nothing. We're absolutely nothing. We're lower than low. We're worms. All right, and we're rocking that with honor. It's a great badge to be a worm in the society of the wicked, because we're going to be lions in the one to come. Okay, in the kingdom of Yahweh Shem Shai. So let's jump right into it. The first precept we got is Isaiah 61, and I'm going to start at verse 5. It says, "And strangers shall stand and feed your flocks." Now, this is coming into the kingdom. How do I know that? Let's start in the first verse. This is Isaiah 61 and 1. "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me because he hath anointed me," just like us. We didn't choose ourselves. We didn't put ourselves in this truth. And you have some that are anointed for good and some that are anointed for bad, man. Just like Darius. All right. Darius was called what? The Lord's anointed. And Darius wasn't an Israelite. So the Lord anointed that man to do what? To make his words come to pass. So just like guys that are in this truth doing something and think they're anointed, are you anointed for good? And are you anointed on the side of the righteous? You could be anointed to do a task, man, which is even scarier. To have your mind thinking and you're going somewhere and you're not, man. All right. So that's why we say we serve the Lord with fear and trembling. The word there is ma washak, ma wa shakak, okay, for anointed, and it says what to smear, anoint, spread a liquid, and what's this liquid? Is this truth? And he spreads it on our mind, just like when you anoint your head with oil. That's symbolic of the spirit and the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding entering into your mind. Okay, to smear, to anoint as consecration, to anoint, consecrate, to be anointed. And you use oil, just as the oil that's representation of the truth. All right, so this truth is what anoints you and brings you into the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right, you can have actual oil, or you can just have the spiritual oil as the first and foremost that comes into your mind. But we had this oil in the past. The ones that have the oil now had the oil in the past. We're just being remembered that we have the oil. Okay? We're being remembered what that thoughts in our mind was when we were kids, when we were growing up. The different ways you felt different, you felt out of place, you felt that was the oil you had, but you didn't know what you had, man. All right, you had something that you were aware of, but you couldn't put your finger on it. You can tell what it was. That was the oil. The Lord activated it, and we now have what we had back then. Was it say, I stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance? Okay, so that's what we're in the process now, remembering who we are to now fulfill the other part of that, which is what? For the Lord redeeming us and then setting us up as the rulers on the planet Earth, okay? On the earth, not in some mystical place in the sky. It's going to be on earth. The kingdom of heaven will be established on the planet Earth. All right. And it says, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me because he hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison of them that are bound. And that's all of us out there. Before we came into this truth, we were all bound in death. We were servants to sin in one way or another. If you weren't in this truth, you were serving sin, man. All right, verse 2, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn. So it's not saying that, oh, love everybody, this. No, what's a part of our comfort? The vengeance of Yahweh. That's what you Israelites should take comfort in also, to know that judgment is going to be put down on our blood being spilt. Every drop of blood that was spilt of our ancestors, which we are those coming in the reincarnation, is going to be paid back. So to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn. So this is the establishment of the kingdom of heaven. Now let's jump to verse 6. This is the point. But ye shall be named. It says, but ye, who's ye? The 144,000 and the one third of Israel that is saved first is going to be the official, the first crop of servants, of priests, of kings. Okay. But ye shall be named the priest of the Lord. Men shall call you the ministers of our power. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, and in their glory shall ye boast yourselves. So we're gonna do it on a high level, man. We're gonna take their riches and we're gonna boast ourselves. Let's see what boast is. To flaunt, but we'll pull it up here. That's why words are so important, because it adds life to the scriptures. It adds a character. What do they say? It adds patina. If you know what patina is something that you have to get through age and wear. All right, you can't fake patina. You can fake it. I don't want to say that, but the real patina, it ages well. Okay. All right. And I got the precept for this. So the word there is Yahwamar. To boast is Yahwamar. And it says to exchange, to enter in, by change into, to promise. There's no root word to that. So let's go back to this. And it says, for your shame ye shall have double, and for your confusion ye shall rejoice in their portion. Therefore, in their land they shall possess the double. Everlasting joy shall be unto them. So now, how are we going to be priests? Ask yourself, how are we going to be priests now? Okay, what is going to make us priests? Because the world is going to learn, just like the high priest would be the taker of the law, that could only be the one to enter into the holies of holies. Israelites will be turned into, the men first and foremost will turn into what? Priests, where we will be symbolic of the priesthood. Just like the priesthood had a higher stake in the law, just like the man that tried to touch the Ark of the Covenant got put to death, we're going to be on that level to the Most High, to these nations. All right, they're going to have to learn of our ways through the priests, through the priesthood of Yahweh Shemi Shai. All right, which will be all Israel, the men, because we're going to be a nation and a kingdom of priests, because we're going to teach the other nations, man. Okay, that's was the point. The Most High was establishing something way back then. That's why the Lord said, "Your thoughts are not my thoughts." You may think you understand something, but you don't really know the full picture. Just like the Lord said, "No man knoweth the hour, but the Most High has put that in His power." So there's things that we don't know. But the one thing is being established is the nation of Israel. The men will be likened unto high priest, as the high priest was to the rest of the nation. All right, the nation had to come to the high priest for their sacrifices, to learn of the law, to go into the breakdowns, the prophecies. So these nations are going to have to come to us to learn of the ways of the Lord, man. All right. And I'm going to prove it. This is Isaiah 2 and verse 3. Listen close. And it says, "In many," let's go up to, man, verse 3. Let's start at verse 2. It says, "And it shall come to pass in the last days." So the days that we coming up to and that we're living in is the last days. So it's not talking about the ancient world. It's not talking about the Old Testament. It's talking about the last days. It says, "And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain," and what's the word mountain mean? Mountain means government. Just like you say summit, a summit meeting. That's where you get a collection of different governments that are meeting at the top of the mountain. Okay, so the mountain of the Lord, that's the same mountain that smashed the 10 toes and took over the planet Earth. That's that same mountain it was speaking of. And it says that the mountain of the Lord's house, that also is the house of David, the house of Dawadah, okay, that's also what it's speaking of, okay, because the Lord is what? Is of the seed of David, all right, the line of the tribe of Judah. All right, it says the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains. So, what is the other mountains? These other nations, these other rulers, these other kingdoms on the planet Earth. The Lord's mountain, the Lord's house, the Lord's seed. That's where you get another house from. Is Bayah, which means house. So the Lord's house will be the Lord's seed line, because the house of David is going to be established on the throne, man, which Yahushua comes from that line. All right. And David shall be there also. And it says, "shall be established on the top of the mountains and shall be exalted above the hills." That's the lower rule, that lower rulers, all right, the lower kingdoms. And it says, "and all nations shall flow unto it." Okay. "And many people shall go and say, Come ye." Hey, shalom to you, Akim, on the comment board. Shalom. "Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord." So the nations will know who's the boss, who's the master. The nations are going to know who is the rulers on the planet Earth. All right. And it says what? "Let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the power of Jacob." See, the line, the bloodline, they're going to know it's a seed line. The earth is going to know what the truth is, who's the Lord dealing with. Is the seed of Israel, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native American descent, man. It says the house of the Most High, power of Jacob. It says to the house of the Most High, the power of Jacob, and he, who's he? The Israelites. All right, the Israelite men that are made priests. Why are we made priests? Because we will have the laws put into our inward parts. The laws will be put into us. We will know the laws like you breathe. We shall know how to do the law like you open your hand. We're not thinking about it. That's why we're going to be the priest of the kingdom of priests, because the law will be written on our hearts. Okay? Just like the law was put into the Ark of the Covenant to symbolic of what was coming to pass. The stone tablets was symbolic of our hearts. Everything was symbolic, leading us to where we're going now, where we'll be established with the law in us, man. Okay? It says, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways. What ways is that? The law. It ain't talking about how to knit garments. It's not talking about how to cook flatbread. All right? The ways ain't talking about how to shoot a jump shot. The ways are not talking about how to pick an afro. The ways are talking about the law. That's what the nations are going to learn of, because they're going to know what happens if you break that law. Because Esau is going to be the new Egypt. They're going to be the new Sodom. They're going to know what happens to a nation that goes after the path of wickedness. That's why that destruction is going to be so loud. Like they say it in the movie, when a boss, he wants retaliation, he says, make it loud. Okay? What does he mean by make it loud? He's saying make the judgment loud, make the retaliation loud, make it messy, make it to where it's a point, it proves a point. That's what the judgment coming on the planet Earth is for. It's to prove a point and to make it loud that Yahweh Shem Yahshai is the power of the creation, man. And you cannot have no rulership beyond what the Lord has established. Okay, that's what the destruction of Esau is going to vibrate through the whole planet Earth, man. All right, power of Jacob and his ways. Here we go. The word there for ways is the rock, if I'm not mistaken. All right, and the word there, the rock. The word there means way, road, distance, journey, manner. So let us teach us their manners. That's what the ways mean, their manners, their roadway, path, journey, direction. What direction is Israel going to be facing? East. And that's going to be facing the ways of Yahweh Shem Shai. That's the path that we will be moving on. The habit, way, course of life, moral character. So the nations are going to come and learn moral character. And where is that coming from? Is the law. That's what separated Israel when the Lord gave us that law. It made us holy. All right, made us holy people. By the way we ate, the clothes we wore, that's what drew us near to Yahweh Shem Yahshua, man. So that's what these nations, that's how they're going to draw near to the Lord, by learning of his ways. They're not going to be the chosen, just like the Samaritans that stayed in the land of Israel. What happened? The Lord sent lions on them until what? Until they established the law through the priests that they brought in to teach them of the ways, to put them on the right path, because they were on the wrong path. They were going against the laws of the Lord. So the lions were eating them. They were torturing them. They were plaguing them. Plague of lions. Just like you got the plague of mice and spiders down in Australia right now. Okay, so the plague happened to those Samaritans because they weren't obeying the law. So what's going to happen in the future, in the kingdom of heaven? The nations are going to have to learn of our ways. They're going to have to be put on course. All right, that's why they're going to come and learn from who? The nation of Israel, man. All right, they're going to come and learn from the nation of Israel. All right, let me go to the next precept. All right, let me finish that real quick. This is Isaiah 2. But this is the time we're living in. And that's what we need to prepare ourselves for. We're gonna be established as we're not gonna sit in the kingdom and do nothing. We're gonna be establishing order on the planet Earth, man. We're the managers. That's why I says when the righteous are in rulership, the people rejoice. So we got to be in rulership. Isaiah 2 and 3. And many people shall go and say, come and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion, didn't say out of the priesthood, out of the Levitical priesthood. No, it says, for out of Zion shall go forth the law. Zion shall go forth the law. So now let's look what Zion says. That's why you gotta, man, look, people paint themselves in a sticky situation using big words, man. Now you gotta answer for the nation is gonna be made priest. And I heard a sit down, he said the guy said that we don't really love the Bible. Come on, man. The people are waxing worse and worse, but we now doing it for edification. We're now making a point. We got to find the positivity in it and find edification. The Lord always puts edification out here, man. Zion, perch, pace. Another name. Let's look here for Zion. To Zion, it says what? Another name for Jerusalem, especially in the prophetic books. So the word Zion means Jerusalem. So now let's read it with the understanding. It says what? And it's easy. When you look at it, it's easy. When you're not trying to do your own thing, you're not trying to establish your own pride or clout. This Bible don't need your clout, man. The Bible don't need clout. The Bible is the word, man. The Lord's not worrying about who believes it. That's why it says if they hear or whether they forbear. So the Lord even gave people chance or not chances, but he blocked their mind from hearing this truth, man. So he's not worrying about the people or wanting to go along with it. It's gonna happen regardless. He don't want them, man. That's like you. Some things you don't want by you, man. So that's what the Lord is doing with these other people and these guys that are teaching certain doctrines. All right. And it says, for out of Jerusalem shall go forth the law. Why? Because we shall be a kingdom of priests and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. So come on, man. And thus saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord. There it is. This is Exodus 19 and verse 6. I'm going to go ahead and go through these precepts. These precepts, a lot of us know. We've read them. If you haven't read them, this is a beautiful time to read them, go through the chapters. But this is Exodus 19 and verse 6. And ye, who is ye? Israel. Let's start at verse 5. Now, therefore, if ye will obey my voice, indeed, and keep my covenant, ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. So what is he talking about? Israelites. And this is what he said. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests. See? A kingdom of priests. And the word kingdom means domicile of the kings. All right? Yup. Is it Mamalakia or Malakia? Yeah, Malak. Yep. Malak. Malakium. Kingdom, domain, reign, sovereignty, king, realm, sovereignty, dominion, reign. So we're going to be a kingdom of priests, not just a tribe. A tribe is going to be a kingdom. All of us. That's why the Lord is going to put the law in our inward parts. Well, why are we going to have a need for a priest if the law is in our inward parts? We're going to become those priests. We're going to know the law better than any people on the planet Earth besides the Israelites. Israelites, that's why it says we shall teach no more. There's not going to be camps. It's not going to be Saturday we get up and we go to camp. No, we all going to teach. We're going to teach the nations, man. This is First Peter 2 and verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praise of him, a people not a nation, a tribe. It didn't say you were a peculiar tribe. It says you were a peculiar people. Man, guy's wild out here. I just read the comment. Yeah, dude's wild, man. This is like I said earlier. We're edifying. Everything the Most High does is dual. Okay, we have to find the edification in everything, even the drama. In drama, the Lord is putting edification that needs to be pulled out, man. That's why, like I said, Israel likes spicy. Israelites like spicy. They like entertainment. They like glitz and glam and shiny things. That's why Jacob spent $1 million on a necklace just so it shines and they can stand out. So Jake likes spicy. So the Lord hides his understanding in the spiciness, man. So we just have to pick it out. It says, "But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, an holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praise of him who have called you out of darkness into his marvelous light, which in past times were not a people, but are now the people of Yahweh, which had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy." That's why we're going to receive the law, because we were held guilty by the law. Now the law is going to be put into our inward parts, so the law can't be against us; it's going to be for us. And all the blessings of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, are going to fall on us, man. They're going to overtake us, just like the curses did. The blessings will overtake Israel. That should be a lesson right there. The blessing shall overtake Israel. This is First Peter 2 and verse 9. I just read that. Salakia 2 and 5. Yep. This is First Peter 2 and 5. It says, "Ye also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house, a holy priesthood." That's what the Lord's been trying to do to us. Make us a nation of priests, a nation of priests. All right, just like Yahushua is the head priest, he's the head priest. He's the high priest, man. All right, and it says, "In holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to the Most High by Yahushua Mashiach." So, what's our sacrifices now? It's us. Romans 12 and 1 tells you that. Make thy bodies as a living sacrifice, man. Yeah, hey, the guy's off, man. The guy's off, man. He's clearly something going on, man. Something that he's making sporadic movements. It's like when you see something with rabies. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it like that. I'm not even trying to get carnal and talk about a man. And it's not personal. I'm not personally. I don't deal with the dude. But for the sake of the edification, that's what we're dealing with. So men, others can see and know that, hey, this is how things are supposed to be done, and this is what the understanding is coming out of this. Taking the book out of the Lord said neither add nor take away. So what are you talking? The dude just denounced the whole book, and he gonna make it a way that you could talk about it, but he can save himself. You know, you took away a whole book and said that he didn't take it. He said it's not the word of God. And God didn't thus saith the Lord. Come on, man. It's in the Bible. So what are you doing? You trying to take away something that the Lord put in there, man, and establish. And look how much meat is in the book of Hebrews. Read it. Go ahead and read. Everybody should be reading the book of Hebrews right now to see the importance of it. This is Revelations 1 and 6. He said, "He has made us a king. He has made us kings and priests unto the Most High, his Father. To him be glory and dominion forever and ever." And we're not to challenge that, man. It says, "Behold," and that's it on that. I'm going to get these couple more precepts. We're going to close on out. This is Revelations 5 and verse 10. These tell you the end. This is telling you the end result of everything. So what are we to listen to? All right, this is Revelations 5 and verse 10. It says, "And has made us to our power kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth." So what are we gonna do on the earth? We're gonna establish the words of Yahweh Shem Shai to these other nations, and if they don't follow the law, the judgment is written. Just like Esau has a justice system, our justice system is going to be under the laws of Yahweh Shem Shai. If you commit this law, if you commit a sin, you get judged according to that sin. If you commit a sin unto death, guess what? You're gonna have the death penalty, man. That's what's gonna happen. Just like in Esau, don't Esau kill people in his society for breaking certain laws and doing certain things? This is Revelations 20 and 6, and I'm gonna end it here. Blessed and holy is he that have part in the first resurrection. Okay. On such the second death hath no power, which is the thermonuclear fire and the fire coming from the angels above that's going to cleanse the earth. But they shall be priests. See, it didn't say the Levites, but they shall be priests of Yahweh and of Mashiach. So we're going to be the priest of Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. And we're going to reign more than that. That 1,000 years, that's Esau's deadline, man. All right, that 1,000 years, he's out of there, man. Okay, but that's the main point. Lord willing, this was, hey, yeah, like the brother said, bugged out. Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's gonna block and he's gonna do all that because he's kiddie, man. He's not really defending the gospel, and he's not there to edify. He's there to browbeat and tell you that you ain't nothing, and we are nothing. That's why the Lord, if you're Yahweh Shem Shai, you gonna get out of that, man. But like I said, always look for the edification, even in drama, especially in drama. So now we need to read the book of Hebrews. We need to dive. That's why I made this lesson, dive into the priesthood. Who's gonna be priest in the future? What are we talking about it now? Who's gonna be priest in the future? What's the point of all this? Nation of Israel, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans will be converted into a royal priesthood, a kingdom of kings and priests, including the Levitical line, including Judah, because round about Judah is the head, man. All right, the head. Because what did Yahweh Shai? He didn't come through the Levitical line when he was Yahweh Shai on that cross. No, he came through the line of Judah to establish and solidify King David's bloodline on the throne, man. Okay, so Lord willing, this is edifying. I just wanted, to dive into this subject. I hope it was informative. I hope you came out there and learned, and those that are paying attention, just look into it, man. There's always edification, even in the spicy things that happen, man. All right. So Lord willing, I'm gonna end it here. Lord, like I said, Lord willing, this is edifying lesson. With that, I want to give all honor and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Akar Kadash. We say Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Akar Kadash. Until the next time, keep faith, keep fighting, hold on to it. We almost there. Shalom, shalom. Shalom.